encourage when you're swimming these rows and you see black material, pull stuff, because a lot of times it will be a big tooth. It could be mammoth teeth. A lot of big teeth I find are buried a lot, you know. Look for the straight edges on the bones and shapes. What I like to do is I hunt the bone. I don't hunt for the teeth. If the teeth are just laying on top, I do, but most of the time I'm looking for pockets of bone. When I find the pockets of bone, that's when I start looking for the teeth, because the teeth and the bones usually are all gathered together in the same areas. While you're looking for bone pockets, you'll find teeth occasionally, but I hunt bone. I'm a bone hunter, and they lead me to the teeth. Once you start getting on that bone, start working it, there is little patch reef here. If it's not covered up, work the edges of that patch reef, and then sand rows. The sand rows kind of go down to the clay, run them, they're running usually north and south. Run them rows north and south, and swim them. That's where you'll find these teeth laying up on top right now, along with the stuff on the reef. But the biggest encouragement is swim for the bones, look for the bones. Lots of this stuff, the dugong rib bones, species of manatee, whale bones like the vertebras. You don't find a lot of these. If you put a lot of time in, they are common, but it's not like an everyday thing that people find. It's mainly whale bones and dugong bones and stuff is what you're gonna find. But these are indicators that there's some kind of megalodon or something in that area. You got ice age stuff too. You got the horse teeth, and you've got the mammoth teeth. Occasionally you'll find fossilized deer antler. This is more of like a river thing I find, but out here you do occasionally find it still. So I got a piece on presentation. Whale ear bones, you'll find these down there. Whale teeth, this is just a little piece of one, but the whale teeth are similar to that and bigger. Broken megs, all different types of broken megs. By the end of the day, everybody should have broken megs and at least a small meg or two. Generally the boat don't get skunked. Usually everybody does find some teeth. Finding the big ones at the end of the day, like I always say though, those still take luck. I consider stuff like that nice sized teeth, but not big. Even this is right at the beginning of me calling it big, you know. So if you can find something like that today or several, you had a good day. Even as the captain, after this storm, it's been pretty good finding big teeth every day again. But pre-storm, I was going on a dry spell for a while, you know. Lots of stuff like this still, but the big ones, they were getting hard. So you guys should have a really good day today. You just get down there and have fun. Don't go down there expecting to just pick these up off the bottom. You very well might. Go down there and have fun. Good luck. Divers in the water.
31:35 there.
8:23 in the morning.
8:23? Perfect.
That? No. No, I don't think so. I think that's a fragment of bone that's been tumbled. Piece. And I found some chips like that.
Oh, that's alright. For sure.
right there. I thought you had more than that. Bone.
Wow.
Did get 2 of them.
If I was finding that, you could have read that engine all day.
I mean, the fish was piss poor, but
Like I said, I couldn't see
it was
anything.
fun. I would have swam right over that. I was worried. I thought something happened.
Yeah, you were down. But I see
She
why
was
now.
focused.
Like, I don't want to lose my spot.
Hyper-focused.
Is that what you're
You
thinking?
know what? If it was clear, this spot is it.
This is a good spot.
Yeah, I think so.
So, what was your visibility out there?
Like this.
Okay. Yeah. Was this laying right on top?
No, just in crevices, because I was just swimming along there.
There they see one. Well, yeah.
I started Fossil Junkies back in 2022. My wife and I were avid fossil hunters for many, many years, me since I was a kid. We started a social media platform, Fossil Junkies, back in 2020 and started posting pictures of the stuff we were finding out here in the Gulf and in the different rivers in Southwest Florida. And you know, I got a lot of interest, a lot of followers, people wanting to know, do we do tours, do we do this, do we do that? So after a couple years of continuing getting interest on it, my wife and I both decided to go get our captain's licenses and started this charter service back in February of 2023 now. It's going great, lots of happy customers, and couldn't really think of anything else I'd want to do. Depending on the diver, a typical day is always a fun day. Lots of teeth. Typically you're going to find lots of the regular sized shark's teeth is what I call it. Makos, hemis, lemons, tiger sharks, and other small species of shark like these. You find horse teeth, that's a typical find. Even megalodons this size are pretty typical. Generally, everybody on the boat, 99% of the time, is going to go home with a megalodon. If they don't go home with a whole one, they're going to go home with a broken one. That's another pretty typical find, broken megs. At the end of the day, like I tell everybody, you still have to get lucky to find these big ones. But they're out there. Just can't give up. A typical day of diving is a 3-tank dive in 20 to 30 foot of water. We go to 3 different locations to enhance your chances at finding one of these big teeth. Usually the first dive of the day, we're gonna start you out in what I call the harder to hunt areas, to where you're not gonna find a lot of this little stuff. You're gonna find a lot of bone. And when you do find something, it's going for the big megs. Sometimes these spots that hold these bigger teeth don't have a lot of other stuff but big teeth and bones, but they are still sometimes hard to find. By the second dive, if everybody's got a big tooth already, or if they didn't get a big tooth, I'll generally take you to another area with a mixed bag where you're gonna find small stuff, other ice age fossils and stuff, and possibly a big meg. At the end of the day, I try to ice you down with a whole bunch of small teeth as well as more megalodons. But the first and second dive are usually the dives that I'm gonna try to make it count. That way you can get that big tooth. Those are your best chances at finding the big one. Venice, Florida offers some of the best diving here in Southwest Florida. It's great for novice divers with open water certification. You're diving waters in the depths of 18 to 30 foot, anywhere from an hour to 2 hour bottom time on a lot of these dives. One thing you'll get here is sometimes 4.5 hours of bottom time in one day. It's relatively safe as long as you're comfortable. That shallow water diving, you don't have to do the safety stops required in some of the deeper water dives. It's also usually has very good visibility out here, so you can see the fossils better on days where that visibility is good. It's also got a lot of reef life. You've got ledges with groupers, snappers, different tropical fish. All these dives are an experience. It's not just the meg teeth you're after. You're after a good time, and you're gonna get that here in Venice, Florida.
Run close.
Things you need to know about this dive, stuff you wanna bring with you. Gloves are always an option. It's harder to pick up small teeth with gloves, but it also keeps your fingertips from possibly getting cut up. We provide the fossil bags, tanks and weights, and if you don't have your own BCD and regulator, mask and fins, we also offer that for rent on our website as well.